Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and it is Macau Festival time again with the famous Macau Grand Prix GT World Cup and the focus for us this year, the Macau Gaia Race. This famous touring car race first came into being in 1963. It has since become a staple of the touring car calendar, a real jewel in the crown, and in the last 2 decades has served as the final round for whatever passes for a World Touring Car Championship, and that is the case again in 2024. But before that race can happen, let's take a look at every single winner of the Macau Gaia Race and what happened to them. This is a 3-part series, much like I did last year for the Macau Grand Prix, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss parts 2 and 3. With that, let's jump into the video. 1963, 1967 and 1969, Albert Poon. We talked about this Hong Kong-based race driver last year. He won the 1964 Macau Grand Prix, but he was also a 3-time winner of the Gaia Race. He won the first running of the race in a Ford Lotus Cortina in 1963, then won it again in 1967 in an Alfa Romeo, and shared a win in 1969 with German Eric Waxenberger in a Mercedes-Benz 300 SEL. This master of Macau was still racing around the circuit as recently as 2013, celebrating the 60th anniversary of Macau, but he was also racing in the Gaia Race in 1996. He has long since retired, but at the age of 88 is still alive and happy. 1964, Eugene Boehringer. The German was a star of rallying pre-World Rally Championship days and was a works Mercedes driver. He won the 1962 European Rally Championship and had success in a variety of events, mostly off-road, but in 1964 he turned up at Macau in a Mercedes-Benz 300 SE and won the Gaia Race. He'd carry on racing until the mid-60s before retiring to run his family-owned hotel business. He passed away in 2013. 1956, Grant Wolfkill. Possibly the most American name ever, Grant Wolfkill raced a lot at Macau in both the Gaia Race and the Grand Prix. He may have won the Gaia Race in 1965, but actual results for the race are hard to find, as is information on whether or not this is the same Grant Wolfkill, who was a cameraman, military veteran and author. But it is an unusual name, so I'll presume it is. He took the win in an Austin Cooper, possibly in just his class, or maybe the race proper. It's hard to tell. 1965, George Baker. And the reason it's hard to tell is another American in George Baker is also listed as winning in a Jaguar in the more powerful class. It might be these were just 2 different class winners, but I can't find an overall result. He is the only person to race an Indy 500 car at Macau, very powerful but not very manoeuvrable. He actually won an earlier version of this race in 1961 and would race at Macau through the 60s. 1966, Mara Bianchi. A hell of a festival for the Belgian, winning both the Grand Prix and the Gaia Race. He took the win in the famous touring car race in a rather glorious looking Alpine A210. Mara Bianchi would appear several times at Le Mans and have a successful sports car career. The grandfather of Jules Bianchi and brother of Formula 1 driver and Le Mans winner Lucien Bianchi, Jules has lost a lot of relatives to motorsport, but still lives himself at the young age of 87. 1968, 1973, 1977 and 1978, Peter Chow. The first 4-time winner of this race was Hong Kong driver Peter Chow. I don't know much about the man himself, but he was a regular at Macau through the 60s, 70s and 80s. Took his first win in 1968 in an Alfa Romeo and followed it with 3 more in Toyotas. Still one of the most successful Macau racers ever and a real king of the touring car category. 1969, Eric Waxenberger. Winning alongside the Poon hound Albert Poon was German driver Eric Waxenberger. The pair won in a Mercedes 300 SEL, as I mentioned earlier, and it may have been entered by Mr. Waxenberger himself. This was his only race entry of note. He was not a professional race driver, but worked for Mercedes as an engineer. He spent the majority of his life working for the German marquis, sadly passing away in 2017. 1970, Anne Wong. The only female winner at Macau and the only driver from Singapore to win a touring car race, Anne Wong was a sensation. A talented driver that took wins across Asia, whilst also working as a journalist and writer. She actually won this race at Macau while starting last, but it helped only 3 cars made it to the finish. She retired from full-time racing in 1974, but raced in powerboats and the odd event into the 90s. 1971, Dieter Glemser. The German beat Macau legend Albert Poon and Aussie legend Peter Brock to win in his Ford Capri in 1971. Dieter Glemser was a hugely successful driver in the early 70s, winning the European Touring Car Championship, the 24 Hours of Spa, 2 Deutsche Rennsport Meisterschaft titles, and had entries in big races for Ford. After 1974, there is no mention of him, so I presume he retired from racing and never looked back. 1972, John McDonald. Born in England but spent most of his life in Hong Kong, John McDonald has won at Macau on bike, single-seater and touring cars. He is also the driver with the most Macau Grand Prix wins with 4, and this win in a Cooper was the first to actually be called the Macau Gaia Race. He had success elsewhere in Asia, but mostly focused on his garage in Hong Kong. He did take 4 Malaysian Grand Prix wins and others in Indonesia, the Philippines and a few other Asian Grand Prix. He retired from racing sometime in the late 70s. 1974 and 1975, Nobuhide Tachi. The first Japanese winner of the race was Nobuhide Tachi, the co-founder of the Toms racing team. He won the Macau Gaia race twice in a Toyota Celica, not surprising as he has been associated with Toyota for around 50 years. He failed to qualify for Le Mans in 1980, in fact his racing career is nothing to write home about, but his motorsport management career definitely is. Wins in every Japanese series going and success in Europe as well, all starting from a couple of wins at Macau in a Toyota Celica. 1976 and 1979, Herbert Adamczyk. Won in a Porsche Carrera and raced at Macau through the 70s. Not a lot of information about this guy out there. He may have formed the Auto Italia group, which dealt with importing Italian cars to China. 1980 and 1983, Hans-Joachim Stuck. This is more like it. The German sports car legend won 2 Macau Gaia races in BMWs. He went on to win the World Sports Car Championship in 1985, the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1986 and 1987, and DTM Championship in 1990. All of this was after 6 years of Formula 1, where he took a couple of podiums with Brabham. He's 73 and still turns up in classics every now and again. 1981, Manfred Winkelhock. Another German winner was Manfred Winkelhock, taking the win in a BMW 320. He would spend the next 5 years in Formula 1 with ATS and Ram, scoring just a single point. As I've mentioned before, he was sadly killed in a sports car race at Mosport during the 1985 season, but he won't be the last Winkelhock on this list. 1982, Helmut Greiner. Another German winner, Helmut Greiner, had finished second the 2 previous years, so it was definitely his turn. He was a career Porsche driver and was still working for the company as recently as 2016. 1984, Tom Walkinshaw. The founder of the TWR racing team that had a lot of success in the 80s and 90s, was also an avid racer himself, competing in touring cars and sports cars all over the world. This same year, he won the European Touring Car Championship in the Jaguar, but he also won races in the BTCC, World Sports Car Championship and the Spa 24 Hours. He later went on to own the Arrows Formula 1 team and was involved in Australian motorsport. Tom passed away in 2010, but his sons and grandsons have kept the Walkinshaw name in racing, and Walkinshaw and Andretti still race in the V8 supercars in Australia. So they are the first 16 winners of the Macau Gaia race, a real mix of drivers from local heroes to European megastars. The Macau touring car race certainly attracted a mixed crowd of drivers. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss parts 2 and 3 later this week. Thank you very much for watching and have a good one.